we just got the world premiere of Kamen Rider ZEZTZ. Big thanks to TokuSHOUTsu, and it was amazing, and I honestly think this might be the best premiere in all of Kamen Rider, or at least the Reiwa era. So let's break down everything that happened. Mission starter. The nightmare scenario is 1 hour away, and the national celebrity Nemu was kidnapped, and we vaguely see an agent being given a mission to save the target. We cut to the kidnappers celebrating reaching their ransom target, but the plan is still to off Nemu. But that's when a kidnapper reveals that he's not like the others, and he uses his weapon to free Nemu, revealing that he is an agent for the secret organization called Agent 7. But his cool moment is interrupted by his hair randomly sticking out, much like Build. If you know Sento, you get that reference. Unlucky, right? But distractions aside, Agent 7 is ready to execute his mission, and a cool shootout ensues, with 7 showcasing his crazy skills. But it comes to a climax when Nemu jumps out of the building, with 7 following behind. And this is crazy because it's just the opening scene. Anyways, 7 gets them to a safe place, weaving in another aura moment, with 7 literally shooting the goon through a door, which is crazy. But when the mission is complete and Nemu and 7 are about to kiss, it's revealed that this was all a dream of Baku Yorozu, and he's woken up by his sister Minami. And we find out that the cool aura farming agent is nothing like Baku, who's an unlucky goofball with the ability to lucid dream, which basically means he's aware that he is dreaming and he can also control the outcomes. But Baku also really loves spies, which you can see by the posters and books in his room, which is pretty cool. Also, is that Bull Striker? Anyways, pause. If you guys have been enjoying this video so far, please consider subscribing and leaving a like and comment. It really helps a lot. Anyways, Baku's in search for a job, which triggers Minami for some reason. Baku leaves for an interview where we get to gauge the environment, seeing posters and billboards with Nemu plastered all over it, starring in a bunch of ads. And it's at this point where we find out Baku's a massive simp. Shut up! Anyways, in the waiting area, we see Baku playing with a kid, pause, before going in for his interview, which doesn't really go as planned. See, Baku seems to struggle separating his dreams from reality and introduces himself as a secret agent, and then he snaps out of it, just saying he wants a job where he can help people. And he sees that kid from earlier rushing out with a guy, followed by a woman coming in looking for her daughter. This grabs Baku's attention, and like the good guy he is, Baku rushes out to save her, and he crosses paths with the mysterious Nox, vowing to make their nightmare come through. And a truck spirals out of control and hits Baku, who's in critical condition, and to make it even crazier, there wasn't even a driver in the vehicle. Unlucky, right? Now we head to the hospital where Baku's being patched up, and he tells Minami that he thought he could save the girl like he did in his dream, but she reminds him of his world-class bad luck. And hear me out, Baku's been struck by lightning on the way home, which I think is from when he met Shoma, been struck by a meteorite, and survived a shark attack, which is crazy. But Minami thinks that he should be happy that he survived all of these life-threatening events and heads out. Now we meet Detective Nasuka, who's being assigned to the Paranormal Affairs Division. I just love her so far. If you don't know, this is Lopo from Kamen Rider Gates, which is my favorite Kamen Rider season. Anyways, she's been partnered up with Tetsuya, who was actually there when the incident happened. So he catches her up, letting her know about the black cases, mysterious reports left unsolved. But Tetsuya already has a theory that these cases were caused while the victims were asleep by invaders from our worst dreams, who he calls the nightmares. But back to Baku, who's finally getting some rest, but it doesn't last long because he's jump scared by a monster, a nightmare. But as he runs to escape, he realizes everyone is gone and he's all alone. And he's chased by the nightmare, eventually opening a door that leads him back to his dream, where he has to save Nemu. And he realizes this is all a dream, becoming Agent Code number 7, the Invincible Agent. Also, quick tangent, but I wonder what this red moon means. It shows up a lot in ZEZTZ's imagery and a ton of dream scenes throughout this episode. So I'm wondering, I don't know. Does it mean something significant? Does it not? Let me know. Although he's suited up, Baku still doesn't stand a chance against the nightmare and he gets bodied. He's hurt so bad that he's flatlining in the real world because what happens in the dream world affects him in the real world. And he's being traumatized into giving into his nightmares. But he remembers his sister. And this nightmare is just a top tier 10 out of 10 rage baiter. Shout out to him. Anyways, Baku decides that at least in his own mind, it's okay to make his dream come true. And he knows his mind better than anyone else. And this triggers a door that sucks Baku into it, transporting him to Code HQ, where he sees Mr. Boss Bike, who doesn't really make an appearance this episode, but stay tuned for him. And we meet Commander Zero, who thinks Baku came a long way and they're in his subconscious mind, and reveals a briefcase containing the ZEZTZ Driver and Physicam Impact Capsum. And bro, he grabs this driver and does a crazy walkout, arriving back on the scene, and after deflecting a bullet, he puts on the driver, which connects to his heart, reviving him in the real world, and announces that he's the Muteki agent and triggers his henshin. And bro, let's talk about this walkout real quick. It was so cool. With his powers surging, ZEZTZ strikes the monster, showcasing his strength. And bro, you can see how much he's putting into every strike. With his veins popping out before striking them, he hits him so hard, he literally travels around the world. And when he respawns, ZEZTZ decides it's time to end this and make the nightmare fade away. So he triggers his finisher and uses his rider kick to banish the monster. Mission complete. And I know, I kept this part short, but it truly was amazing. Anyways, after the fight, he wakes up believing it was all a dream, but it turns out he still has his driver, Capsum, and phone. And bro, I think that this driver is the only thing keeping him alive, because he flatlined, right? But the driver connected to his heart. And I think this is a really cool idea, but anyways, Tetsuya is convinced the nightmares are real, and he's gonna work the case to the end, even without Nezuka. And again, they cross paths with Nox, who says, when your dreams go to sleep, the world awakens to a nightmare. Anyways, it's on to your next mission. And that mission is to like and subscribe. If you've made it this far, be sure to comment and let me know what you think of ZEZTZ's premiere. And be sure to follow me on Kick at It's Adam. Anyways, you can check out one of my most recent videos right here. See you guys.